The Senate health care plan is in critical condition. Right now, I'm really.
It'll have to go to the emergency room.
It's in the emergency room now. The Congressional Budget Office says it's going to probably leave about 22 million more people without insurance. And so, I mean, part of the question I want to pose is why are there so many other countries that are able to provide this? I mean, why can't we seem to get this?
Because they see it as a basic human right, and we do not. Like, it's not considered that right now. People are looking at what they want to pay in and what they don't. There, it's not even discussed. It's this is part of it. Every human deserves health care.
But they don't exactly agree with that. The Republican Party, as it stands now, they worship the tax cuts. And because you worship tax cuts, which is what this taking all this money out of Medicaid is going to provide tax cuts for very well. People like, I make a decent amount of money. I'm going to get a big tax cut. And yet, I'm going to give that away. I'm giving it away because I don't deserve to get a tax cut. Yeah. I don't. And neither does anybody at this table and anybody who's working on television. Because we are people who are privileged in this country. And people who are so privileged should not be taking money from the top so that people in the bottom or wherever they are can't get decent health care. It's not fair. It's not American. It's mean. As Donald Trump said, it's mean. It is mean.
But I don't understand why we all can't have it. I don't understand why everybody, because you know what? I make a good living, but I also support folks who need stuff. So for me, it's like, listen, there is no reason why everybody in this country, we pay for everything else. We've paid for so many things. We've given lots of big tax cuts to folks. So why can't everybody have health care that we either pay for or help other people pay for? Because I pay for wars. I don't believe in war.
You know, there's a certain amount of resentment. Let me just say one point. There's a certain amount of resentment that people, like, for instance, Medicare was very controversial at one point because people who have a lot of money are also getting Medicare. Right. I mean, I use Medicare. I'm old now. I know. I am. I go in. I walked into a, what do you call those, walk-in clinics? And they do this, they do this, they do that. I say, how much do I owe you? Nothing. Zero. And so I'm a person who was privileged, as I said before, who also benefits from a free system because of my age.
But your free system, this free system that you're benefiting from, is one that, as an American citizen, you should have access to because nobody's taking your insurance now. You go to the doctor and you're paying cash.
But
I don't care who you are.
There's resentment in it, though. There's resentment.
I don't know if there's resentment.
That people say, why should you get free medical care on my dollar? And especially when you don't need it.
Because you do need it because no one will take your insurance. And that's a huge issue.
I mean, the issue, though, in this country is, though, that there's a fundamental difference between people on the left and right as to how to go about it. I know people on both sides of the aisle that want people to have better quality of care, that want people to be able to choose their doctors, to lower their costs, but some on the left feel that it's the government's job to do that. They want single payer, and some on the right feel, no, you know what? The problem is that the government is too involved, and the regulations, which is how I feel, the regulations are making these costs rise for people, and we need a real free market approach with competition in order to make it fair for everyone. Now, let me just, one correction.
Yeah, go ahead.
This plan, the GOP plan, which, by the way, I don't like, I would have voted against, Medicaid spending still goes up by $71 billion. It's just not going up as the same rate. And those 22 billion people that are not going to have insurance anymore, some of those people aren't going to have insurance because they don't want it, because they're taking the mandate away. So they're empowering people to say, we don't want insurance.
Because they're young and healthy now, and they may not be tomorrow.
I apologize.
The problem with the free market system, though, is that it's contingent upon people paying for their own health insurance. And the problem with that is rich people can afford it, but usually the poorest people are the sickest, which means the people that need health insurance the most can't pay for it.
People who need insurance the most under Obamacare saw their premiums skyrocket. Many people, low-income people, saw their premiums skyrocket.
You always say that. We're going to come back and we're going to talk some more. We'll be right back with more Hot Topics. Ivanka Trump is assistant to the president with an office in the White House, right?
Yes. Yeah.
So somebody explain this to me.
Okay.
You know, I try to stay out of politics. You know, his political instincts are phenomenal. He did something that no one could have imagined he'd be able to accomplish. There were very few who saw it early on. I feel blessed to have been part of the ride from day one and before, but he did something pretty remarkable. But I don't profess to be a political savant.
So how can a presidential advisor not want to talk politics? I mean, am I crazy? Okay, that's all I want to know.
I mean, in my opinion, you are not crazy.
Okay.
When I heard this, I was very confused, and I think it's because she considers these things she wants to talk about, the opioid crisis, workforce development, as not being political. But what is she not getting? That all of these things are political, because if you're going to fix problems like this, you have to bring policy about. You have to do something in the community. So if she didn't want to be in politics, maybe she shouldn't have taken the job, stayed out of it.
Well, that goes double for her father.
What's misleading is that she is benefiting from her political appointment, because we know that she met with the Chinese government, that she met with the president, and in April, her brand, her company, got provisional approval for 3 trademarks. And so she is in fact extremely political, but she's political and she has a lot to gain personally, and that's a real problem.
Well, and what Jed was saying about, like, these are policies. These causes don't need just allies talking about them and having meetings. They need policy instituted to further them, like to actually help them.
Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah. And the other thing is, I think that you keep hearing every time someone from Trump camp, he calls it T camp. T camp. He's reduced himself to a letter, but they talk often about how he pulled something off. I think it's really important to remember that everyone knows this campaign was mind-blowing, but that doesn't give him a credibility of policy, politics, how to lead once you have the power. So I think the idea of making that if this is true, then this is a false narrative. You can't keep saying
Didn't he say that he wasn't a politician? That's what he ran on, and that he was going to surround himself by people that knew politics. But then he appoints his daughter as his advisor, and now she's saying she doesn't want to talk about politics.
So the answer is you're not crazy, Whoopi.
I'm thrilled.
You're not crazy.
Because, sometimes I think to myself, really? Because some of this is like, does anybody else see this happening?
People do. I think people see plenty.
I think so. I think a lot is...
His approval rating is down to 34%. That leaves a lot of people who don't like him.
And
who don't buy
because what you were saying before about he didn't have any experience in politics per se, but that he was going to surround himself with. That's what a lot of the supporters were counting on. That well, he's going to be a businessman who's going to know how to hire the right people. And now you're seeing mistakes like this. Jared Kushner. I mean, there's a lot of people that he's hired that have left people scratching their heads that did support him and did vote for him. So I think a lot of people.
It's interesting that Jared and Ivanka were supposed to be the liberal counterparts, that they were going to be the sanity in the White House. P.S. They're not. They're not.
Well, she is more liberal. I mean, she talks about maternity leave and climate change. She disagreed with the way he's got to listen to them. In order for her to be able to affect stuff, he's got to have his ears open.
But if it doesn't translate to policy and she considers her someone that just sitting at the table, you're taking someone's spot. Because there is someone that can do something.
There's a hit sitcom series called Silicon Valley. And people were bummed to hear that T.J. Miller was leaving. He took some parting shots at a co-star and a producer in an interview with a Hollywood Reporter, and claims his dad warned him about a whole bunch of stuff. But the question is, do you really need to take pot shots when you're leaving?
I don't think it's a smart thing at all, because I think when you look at your resume and the companies and the people you've worked for, you're building a professional foundation. Now you're going to play Jenga with that foundation, and you're going to pull little pieces out, and that kind of unseats you. Those people are who speak to what jobs you get down the road, and they always say that, make sure you take care of the people on the way up, because you might pass them on the way down. So I just think it's never smart to kick them on the way out.
You can't leave a job like that. You have to say, it's me, not you. It's me, not you. I'm looking for a different opportunity. I want to be challenged in a different way. I'm looking for growth, even though it's really because you freaking hate everybody that you're working with. You don't like the job anymore. You're bored to tears. You get up in the morning, you don't want to work there. But you don't say that.
Well, I think I'm
You
a
don't say
perfect
it.
example because a few years ago, I was let go from The View. So I spun it that, I left on my own. I never told this in public. And it was like,
Breaking news.
This is the PR, And I actually was happy about it because I was sick of what they were doing, etc. So it was mutual, but they're the ones who came to me and said, we're not renewing your contract. So what I did was I went out and I gave them a nice thing. And what's the upshot? I'm here. I'm back. So that's a perfect example of don't bite the hand that fed you.
You never burn a
A lot of
bridge.
people do that. They
Look at that,
They
Brian.
feel
I
the
finally
need
made
to-
some news on this show.
I think every job you have serves a purpose for you at that stage of where you are. Like, that's part of your journey at that moment.
Yeah.
So I think there's no reason to spill anything negative about that because that may be someone may be having a great experience at that job while you're having a terrible experience. Maybe you're moving on for reasons that they're staying there or whatever. So just I always say, like, leave with positive energy and you'll bring that energy to wherever you're going
just
next.
look back
That's all.
too. I think the character revealed in that
Yeah.
is it's kind of catty.
I mean, isn't it kind of, isn't that though par for the course these days? Everybody tells everything, so you think you're gonna go out, you think you're going out with a bang, but you look dopey.
Yeah.
That's true.
You kind of come off looking like you're mad about maybe they let you go.
So why do you suppose he did that?
I'm sure he thought it was the cool thing to do. And tried to look like, I don't feel bad about the fact
Dave
that I'm not there
Chappelle did
anymore.
it in an episode where he kicked the sign on the way out. It was
Yeah.
awesome. But then he had to come back and ask for his job.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy.
Never Dave Chappelle it on the way out.
That's right. Never Dave Chappelle it on the way out. We'll be right back. So, the wonderful comedian Jen Kirkman, and she tweeted this photo along with a post about trying to have a cup of coffee while somebody else's kid is slapping her feet from under the table.
Oh, gosh.
And she says his mom is doing nothing about it. And this sparked nasty backlash from people. But she's a woman who said, I don't want to have kids, and this is kind of why, and she's very funny about it, and this is what her thing is. But people were incredibly nasty.
I think it's funny.
Tell them a story when you're on the
Oh,
plane.
so people always think I love little tiny children. They always think it. And so I was on a train once, and the mother, when she saw me going by, said, there's Whoopi Goldberg. She loves children. She's always on Sesame Street and blah, blah. And I'm thinking, uh-oh. So I go and I sit, and the little kid, his nose is running. It's a whole thing.
noses are always
Lollipop
running.
is nasty, okay? And he comes over, he says, I want to see your computer. And he goes, I said, no, give it no. And I'm waiting for his mom to say, little Ferdinand, come sit down. But she doesn't say anything. And I finally whisper something into the child's ear to get him to stop, because I'm trying to do what I'm doing. And I think people don't realize that, I joke about this, but you have to watch your children.
Yeah.
What did you say?
You have, I can't tell you what I said.
I know what
She knows. No, I actually can't say it.
Oh,
I can't
this
say
is a
it.
different story from I'm going to eat you.
No, well, I tell it that way because I can't say what I actually said. But the bottom line is, who's supposed to take care of this when a child is ripping and racing? That's what my mother used to call it. I don't want you ripping and racing in this house. But who's supposed to take care of it? And was she wrong to say,
Not
as
at
a
all.
stand-up, hey, what the heck?
But
you
she
know
doesn't
what?
even have children.
No,
So
she-
what's interesting is the mother was outside on the phone, on her cell phone.
Always
so she
that
wasn't
way.
even in eye shot
Yeah.
of
But
this
even if
child.
you want kids, you said that you pointed out she didn't want kids. I can still see a bratty child. And my
Yes.
one goal is to not raise one of those.
Yes.
And so when you look around, you're not blind, and criticizing a kid or making a funny tweet, I applaud her for pointing out, I think it's hilarious. You can see his little hand under there. I had that on a plane once. I got a little kid, his mom was asleep, and he kept reaching through the thing and trying to touch me, and I'm literally to the point where I was like, if anyone sees me glare at this kid, I look like an awful person. But I was like, trying to get him to.
Did it work?
No, he thought it was hilarious.
Yeah.
It is hard to discipline other people's children.
Right,
Yeah.
but you shouldn't have to.
You shouldn't. Yeah.
But parents should, if you have a kid and they're running around, it's your job. Because you don't want me to tell your kid to stop.
Right, exactly.
You don't want it.
Have you ever been in an elevator where the kid presses every button. I used to live in an elevator that had 47
I used to do
floors.
that last year.
I was going to my friend's apartment.
That's hilarious.
I
think
wouldn't.
it's
That
fun.
would not put me. I'm not surprised. 47. I'm not surprised. There are 47 floors, and of course, I'm going to the 47th floor. The kid on one pressed everybody. His mother was on the phone. We had to stop on every. There was only one working elevator. I was tweeting. I didn't know how to vent. I didn't know what to do, but I got a lot of hate because I was complaining. I was like
See,
saying what was happening.
All you have to do is say, "Hey, little boy,
He pressed every.
stop that," and then let his mother say something. Say, "Well, oh, you heard that?
Yeah.
But you didn't see this?
She didn't.
Yeah.
You know, it's as a parent, it's your responsibility. It's what you're
She
supposed
was
to do.
all. He's so funny.
But you know, we were talking about the parent on the plane.
Yeah.
You know, a mother on the plane with a baby. She was on the tarmac for 4 hours.
And the baby
and
got
the baby
so overheated.
got overheated.
Yeah.
This is on United. I say, listen, how come nobody is teaching the stews,
Yeah.
the flight attendants, that if you're going to be on the tarmac for more than 15 minutes and there's a baby and you've turned off the air,
That's crazy.
you have to. I don't understand why that's not part of the training.
Didn't they have the passenger bill of rights? Because this
Yeah.
baby was taken to the hospital for heat
You're not
exhaustion.
allowed to sit after a certain amount of
I
hours.
thought there was a passenger bill of rights and that
thought
they
so,
couldn't
too.
do that anymore. We got to look into that because that's just
yeah,
bizarre.
and we just also have to make sure that it's accurate.
Yeah.
That we're
Yeah.
being given the accurate information. But if it is accurate, shouldn't there be someone that says, "Here's what. This is how you handle
like
this.
the
You have to
human
give water."
decision of like I
Well,
see
yeah,
something's
I see
wrong and I
something
know
wrong.
better.
Yeah.
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 The baby
The mother should
water.
have just
Yeah.
insisted on getting off the plane.
Well, you know, they arrest you for that. We'll be right back.
I got on a plane once. A little kid, his mom was asleep, and he kept reaching through the thing and trying to touch me. And I'm literally to the point where I was like, if anyone sees me glare at this kid, I look like an awful person. But I was like, like trying to get him to. Did it work? No, he thought it was hilarious.
Yeah.
It is hard to discipline other people's children.
Right,
Yeah.
but you shouldn't have to.
Shouldn't have
You
to,
shouldn't.
yeah.
But parents should, you know, if you have a kid and they're running around, it's your job. Because you don't want me to tell your kid to stop.
Right, exactly.
You know,
Have you
you
ever
don't
been-
want it.
Have you ever been in an elevator where the kid presses every button? I used to live in an elevator that had 47
I used to do that
floors.
last year.
I was going to my friend's apartment.
That's hilarious.
I
think
wouldn't.
it's
That
fun.
would not put me. I'm not surprised. 47. I'm not surprised. There are 47 floors, and of course, I'm going to the 47th floor. The kid on one pressed everybody. His mother was on the phone. We had to stop on every. There was only one working elevator. I was tweeting. I didn't know how to vent. I didn't know what to do, but I got a lot of hate because I was complaining. I was like
See,
saying what was happening.
All you have to do is say, "Hey, little boy,
He pressed every.
stop that," and then let his mother say something. Say, "Well, oh, you heard that?
Yeah.
But you didn't see this?
She didn't.
Yeah.
You know, it's as a parent, it's your responsibility. It's what you're
She
supposed
was
to do.
all. He's so funny.
But you know, we were talking about the parent on the plane.
Yeah.
You know, a mother on the plane with a baby. She was on the tarmac for 4 hours.
And the baby
and
got
the baby
so overheated.
got
that-
overheated.
Yeah.
This is on United. I say, listen, how come nobody is teaching the stews,
Flight
the flight attendants, that if you're going to be on the tarmac for more than 15 minutes and there's a baby and you've turned off the air,
That's crazy.
you have to. I don't understand why that's not part of the training.
Didn't they have the passenger bill of rights? Because this
Yeah.
baby was taken to the hospital for heat
You're not
exhaustion.
allowed to sit after a certain amount of hours.
I thought there was a passenger bill of rights and that
thought
they
so,
couldn't
too.
do that anymore. We got to look into that because that's just bizarre.
and we just also have to make sure that it's accurate.
Yeah.
That we're
Yeah.
being given the accurate information. But if it is accurate, shouldn't there be someone that says, "Here's what. This is how you handle
like
this.
the
You have to
human
give water."
decision of like I
Well,
see
yeah,
something's
I see
wrong and I
something
know
wrong.
better.
Yeah.
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 The
The
baby
mother should
water
have just
and-
Yeah.
insisted on getting off the plane.
Well, you know, they arrest you for that. We'll be right back. Yeah.
It's 7.
Today's call.
Our friend Mike Tyson, the legendary heavyweight, just admitted that there's one movie he can't turn off. Wait. When he catches it on television, he says it is he can't resist it. It's just an amazing love story. And it's called The Notebook.
Yeah.
Is this
He's
true
a
of
good
other
taste.
people?
Yes.
Of this?
Though, right? Isn't that's a sad movie?
Most good love stories are.
I don't like to cry.
What kind of love story do you watch you don't cry at?
I like It's Complicated. Have you seen that one?
Is that Alec Baldwin? And
Yeah, it's funny.
But that's
Meryl
funny.
Streep.
That's not.
Oh, there
but
it
it's
is.
a romantic comedy.
You're not going deep enough if there's not a little pain.
Really?
Yeah.
You've
What is
dated.
yours? Yours is.
I don't like romantic comedies that much. I like something soft porn, though. I like.
I've got a good book for you. It's called 50 Shades of Grey.
Not that. I hate that book. That book is dumb.
Like what kind of
Like for instance, Ryan's Daughter. Anything Sarah Miles.
They don't know. They don't know.
All right,
They don't
look
know.
it up. Go look it up.
Do you watch it with Steve?
Sometimes. Why? What are you writing a book?
I'm just trying to get, are you sleeping by
about you?
yourself? Are you
For
eating?
romance, well, movie I can't turn off on romance, but for romance, it's The Way We Were. Oh,
That's a great one. No, but
then
that's a good one.
that's my
That's a
film
good- I love
husband.
that.
Look at him.
So deep, Summer.
And I reenact all the scenes. Your girl is lovely, Hubble, and I get into it.
They don't end up together. They don't end up together. It's sad.
Sometimes we don't.
It's more
I have a
reality
long
than.
future in film,
These are
Whoopi.
sad.
What
Well,
about
the
you?
Notebook, the woman has Alzheimer's at the end.
Yeah,
of
it's
it.
sad.
I know, but they die holding hands.
Holding
it's
hands
beautiful.
together.
But wait a
The
second.
soul.
You're mixing.
Wait, they
you're
died together?
Yes,
Yeah.
isn't it so sweet?
It's so
That's
sad.
cute.
You know what? There's a difference between a romantic movie and a romantic comedy.
Yeah, I
That's
like
what you're
just-
mixing
I
up.
just- I only like
and
comedy
soft
romantic
porn. I'm telling you, go there.
Whole different category.
Do you like those sad movies?
Well, I like a good love story that's more reflective of how life is. I've never laughed through a relationship.
Which is your favorite tearjerker movie?
Beaches,
they
if I want to
are.
cry. Beaches all the way.
She dies in that.
Again,
Like I
It's not
said,
a
but it was
comedy.
a friendship that was beautiful.
you asked her for a tearjerker. She gave you one. It's not a
If you want to laugh, watch Bridesmaids.
That's true.
I'm an air marshal.
Whoopi's like, help me. I hear a very slow.
I don't think you would like one of those sad romance movies.
You're in love stories.
Yeah.
You're in that one called.
She's in Ghost, which I watch
Well, no,
every
but
week.
she's the love object. She's in the
That's not the love object.
In
Ghost is good.
Ted Danson.
Oh, yeah.
Because that's not as sad.
Hi, Neil deGrasse Tyson is all the ways the universe wants to kill us. Next.
This week on The View is heating up with all the hot topics you can handle. Then tomorrow, we're laughing it up with Will, Amy, and Jason.
Gotcha.
And the one and only Julie Andrews is here. This week on The View.
If you have postmenopause,
Apparently, he was voted the sexiest astrophysicist alive. I mean, how many were there to choose from?
Hey, don't knock the title.
I'm just saying, you know, he's also a social media superstar with over 7 million Twitter followers. His new book, Astrophysics for People in a Hurry, debuted at #1 on the New York Times bestseller list, and he's really one of the best people I know. Please welcome my friend Neil deGrasse Tyson. So, you have a story about a kid?
Wait, first, real quick, that sexiest astrophysicist alive, that was 40 pounds ago. Just want to count time by pound.
Still counts.
I heard you all talking about babies on airplanes.
Yeah.
Real quick.
Yeah.
In my bachelor days,
Yeah.
baby made a noise. It was like, after I had a kid,
Yeah.
oh, let me help with
Yeah.
the thing, and I would do little finger puppets. Some firmware upgrade happened after I had kids, where I was no longer that angry adult, anti-child.
Right.
I was like, let me help you
Right.
keep the, and I would, pop up behind the, the back of the,
Yeah.
I play peekaboo.
Play
So,
with that.
yeah, I'm just saying, it
You had
changed me,
empathy.
and
Yeah.
empathy.
Empathy.
Empathy just descended upon me,
It's
and
nice.
it's been with me ever since.
Good for
Yeah.
you.
Empathy is great unless the kid is biting your toes. If he's pouring stuff on you, it's not so good. You just got back from Norway, man,
Yeah, I
where you
did.
were the first American to receive the Stephen Hawking Medal for Science
That's awesome.
Communication.
Yeah, thank you.
So,
That's sexy.
yeah. I know you had like dinner with Stephen Hawking.
Yeah, so a few years ago.
What?
Well, it's tough because he speaks through a machine,
Right.
and he no longer can control his hands. So he's dialing up letters, spelling words with like the iris of his eye, okay,
Right.
in a device that can track your eye movement. And so there's no witty repartee. So he's got to choose his words carefully.
Right.
I asked him a question about Isaac Newton because Isaac Newton invented calculus.
Right.
And then there's a branch of calculus derived from that took 150 years for somebody else to invent,
Right.
that made discoveries. And I said, how come Newton didn't do this himself? He invented the base idea.
Right.
Right. And so
Time passes.
time passes. Time passes. You go on to other conversations.
Yeah.
10 minutes later, you can't think of everything. So it's like, whoa, okay. That was his response. That
Did
was
enough. Newton did enough.
Yeah, I said, okay, I'm with that. I got that.
That's good.
Speaking of Stephen Hawking, he recently said that humans have 100 years left on Earth, if we're lucky, and that we'll need to colonize other planets in order to survive. Do you believe that?
Well, so you know what I really want to do the next time I speak to him? I say, could you shut up at least for a year? Because every time you speak, the press comes to me to get me to react to you.
Yes.
And I need a time off or something. Okay, no, but so he's thinking deeply about what kind of sort of Armageddon trajectory we're on.
Right.
Either self-destruct or possibly an asteroid or some runaway robot that takes us out. And he cares enough about our species to say, put half of us on another planet. That way, if one part of the species gets taken out, humans will still continue.
Like an arc.
It's like an arc.
Okay.
Like an arc.
Okay.
Exactly.
I think he said that just to scare these global warming deniers.
Well,
Climate change deniers, I should say.
well, so it's. If it's true, it doesn't matter why, I mean, right. So 100 years might be a little conservative for me, but I think...
Conservative?
Because, I mean...
It's nothing. It's a drop in the bucket.
Right. So the way I look at it is, suppose you do split the species, and half are on Mars and half are here. But by the way, you have to terraform Mars first.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay? You don't have a lot of time.
Yeah, you got to turn it into Earth. Terraform, great word.
Yeah, I knew exactly what it meant.
Yeah, you don't even have to
Right
define
there
it because
with
you're
you.
feeling the word as it comes out of the mouth.
That's right.
Terraform. Okay?
Yeah.
So you do that, and you ship 1 billion people there. And here's my issue with that prediction. It's, if you're worried about an asteroid or a virus, right, it seems to me it'll be easier to deflect the asteroid than to ship 1 billion people to Mars after you've terraformed Mars. Wait, one more. Right, ready? Now, suppose we trash Earth, and we need another planet to go to.
Oh, they're trashing Earth.
Right,
They're
exactly.
doing it.
So now we go to Mars after we terraform Mars. If we have the power of geoengineering to terraform Mars into Earth, we have the power to turn Earth back into Earth.
That's what I say.
Hey!
Right,
Can we talk about artificial intelligence for a second? Artificial intelligence freaks me out a little bit
AI?
because
Yeah?
because soon I feel like robots are going to be able to do everything.
Not soon.
Everything.
You late.
But everything.
You're late.
I'm late. Okay, so let me ask
Ooh, I
you
like
this.
this. She got
If
some-
No, listen.
She can do
about
this?
to-
She got that?
Okay.
Where did she learn that?
She learned that in
Where did
Staten
that-
Island.
No, that is not a Staten Island move.
Brooklyn. I'm a
Brooklyn,
Brooklyn
all
girl.
right, all right, sorry.
All right, so if someone has sex, say they're married and they have sex with a
I don't
robot
know where she's
behind their boyfriend or girlfriend or fiance or husband's
Oh,
back
is
or
that
wife,
cheating?
is it cheating? Does it count?
Yeah,
I
so-
say yes.
Okay, no, so here it is. If the robot looks like your spouse, it's not cheating.
What if?
Now, how about that?
Oh,
Then you
no.
just getting some action in times that it wouldn't otherwise
What if
be
it's-
available to you.
what
But
if
if you're putting wigs on it and stuff and making it
Okay.
look like something else, that's cheating.
But what if it's like me on like my best day? Like I'm not quite there, but it had a little.
Hypothetically.
I'll
She's
tell
being
you what.
hypothetical.
No, because I'm writing a book about technology and I want some expert input to include. So.
Well, it's not expert. I just thought about it a little
thought
bit.
about
Yeah.
it?
I
Go
think
ahead. All right.
it looks
No,
like
we're
your
up to his
people.
book.
Yeah,
We're up to his book.
What?
That's you, Whoopi.
Yeah, I know. So your book is not just astrophysics for dummies. You make a case for embracing the cosmic perspective. Why is it important?
Yeah.
Ooh.
When there's so many problems on the Earth.
Hallelujah.
She said no. When will she stop?
for it. You'll see it.
Wait
You'll
for it.
see it.
Wait for
That's
it.
right.
That's it.
Why?
Why? So here's the thing. The universe, people say, we got problems on Earth, why are we worrying about space?
Right.
And I think to myself, why explore? They're saying, why explore? Why do any of that? Suppose we were 10,000 years ago. What would you be saying? We got problems in the cave. Solve the cave problems first before you go out and look across the meadow and over there. That's patently absurd to even think that way. So when I look at the vastness of the universe with unlimited energy, unlimited resources, and people are fighting over energy and resources on this planet, and you're telling me don't look out into the universe? What the hell is wrong with you?
It's short-sighted.
Okay.
You're right. I've got a fun little game for you. You said in this political climate, it's hard to tell what's real news and fake news.
Yeah, I'm not the only one. Yeah, but
we're going to see if you know the difference, okay? So I'm going to read a headline, and you tell me if it's real or fake. Are you ready?
Based it on just the headline?
Yep.
Okay.
That's the type of world we're in.
Okay, all right.
NASA wants to probe Uranus in search of gas.
That's got to hurt.
I say yes.
Science, people, you're so gross.
Yeah. That's a total good headline.
It is.
Yes.
That's
real.
big. Now,
Yes.
this robot gynecologist can now perform surgery.
What?
I don't see why not. Definitely go
They're
for it.
probably doing it now,
Yes.
right?
It is true.
Yes.
Real news.
Got a great view of that in the movie Prometheus,
Yes.
where there's a she
Gynecologists
dials up.
don't really have good views.
Yeah.
Okay, hurry up.
Dolphin attacks human on porpoise.
What?
No, I don't believe that.
You're right. It's fake news. Peeing in the pool is actually really bad for you.
I don't believe that either.
That's actually real.
See?
Why would it be bad for you? It's bad for everybody else.
No,
It's
there's
your
like
own
a
pee.
chemical reaction that happens.
You
Trump
touch your own pee. Your pee came out of
There
you.
we have it.
Mixes with the chlorine, though.
We
That's
love this man.
Not good for anybody.
Because you can't have any more fun than this. Thank you for coming. Come anytime. Astrophysics for People in a Hurry is out right now. And you know what? Damn it, everybody's getting a copy. Everybody's getting a copy. We'll be right back. Everybody. Welcome back. The phenomenal two-time Tony-winning play Indecent on Broadway is extending performances through August 6th. And guess what? Members of... I have to tell you, it's a great piece. It's a great show. I think you'll enjoy it. It was great to have Neil with us. And, you know... I saw it. I think it's a phenomenal piece. It won for Best Director at the Tonys. It is an amazing piece of theater, and I'm thrilled that they were kind enough to give tickets to the audience. So, we're thankful that you came. Thanks for watching. We want you to have a great day, everybody, and take a little time to enjoy whatever view you happen upon.
This is Breaking News.